And now we turn to film, streaming, movies, etc. A guy who knows the world of subtitled movies. By the way, I saw Resident Family. What's it called?
Rental Family.
Rental Family. It's so good.
It is a lovely.
You
lovely
were
film.
so right. Wow, Rental Family. See it. It's perfect. This audience, I think, would love it. And of course, I'm an emotional person, so I choked up a bunch of times. But it was a very.
It is spiritual uplift on screen.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not just all choke up kind of movie. It's
No.
Yeah, it's really really good. Anyway, subtitle movies, Marvel movies, DC Universe, whatever the other universe is, Marvel Universe. He knows them all. He does right about it. He's been doing it for decades. He's the Culture Blaster, Michael Snyder. Hi, Culture Blaster.
Hey, Mark, it's great to be back. Hi, Kim. Hi, Albert. I'm still a little shell-shocked from the 49er loss, but, it's time to move on to the Warriors. Oh, wait, Jimmy Butler was injured and their season is in peril. Go Giants! No, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, and
that is wild, Albert. Jimmy Butler, is that a season-ending injury for him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yep.
Yeah.
Sadly enough. Hey, speaking of seasons, it's now truly Oscar season.
Oh, Hollywood has come out to put on the bow tie. And who are they?
The nominations. And this, of course, is when we celebrate the lives of author, pundit Oscar Wilde, actor, musician Oscar Levant, and, of course, Oscar Mayer. No, I'm just kidding.
The Oscar thing.
But speaking of wieners, I spent most of the morning listening to Donald Trump's latest album, Old Purple Hands is Back. And it's his follow-up to Old Orange Face is Back. And the new album features some original numbers like I've Got Those Greenland Blues and D is for Despot and Dementia.
Google.
And wait, he does some cover versions. The Rolling Stones, I Can't Get No Satisfaction from Melania. Split Enz, History Never Repeats Because I'm Rewriting It. And, of course, Sweet's Ballroom Blitz. And that,
Don't talk
course,
to me that way.
That tells the tale in and of itself.
It was very inappropriate.
I know.
Yeah, really not right.
They smash it with your golden dome.
Unreal. Yeah.
I know. Anyway,
well, I'm very excited that you follow the news as closely as you do, Michael. But of course, you're here to give us your takes on film. It being Oscar nomination day, please share. I now will have to see Sinners because it was very much applauded by the Academy.
It will
more nominations than any other film in history.
It will upset you. There is a lot of blood and gore.
That's what I'm hearing.
It's a vampire movie, but it is so much more. It's about the black experience in the South. It's about post-slavery in what was a slave state. It's about black businessmen trying to get a juke joint up and running, much to the chagrin of the local chapter of the KKK. Now, it is a lot of things besides just being a vampire movie.
It must be, because they seem to love it.
It's a rockin' vampire movie, though.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll get to a few notes about the Oscar nominations at some point, but I do want to tell people quickly, we've reviewed all these movies on the Mark Thompson Show in the past when they were given short runs for Oscar consideration, but I want people to know that The Choral with Ralph Fiennes, a wonderful period piece about a chorus group during the World War I era in England coming together and having a strife and issues as they try to get a show on the road. The Testament of Anne Lee, featuring a bravura performance, as Anne Lee by the lovely actress. She's blonde, she's beautiful, she looks like a Bratz doll. You love her, I love her.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know. I'm not going to insult her anymore. Sound of Falling, the German movie, wonderful, and the animated film Arco. They're all available now to be seen in various theaters across the country.
As long as you're digressing, I will further digress and ask you, and one of the things I hear the most from listeners is, after your appearance, is there a place where Michael lists these films that he has reviewed? Is there a place where I can read the review as well as hear the review on your show?
I've received a lot of positive letters.
Yeah.
Well, I sometimes do print reviews of some of the things we discuss on the Thompson Show.
But you don't regularly note these movies, that you don't reduce it to pretty good. Don't miss it.
No, you can listen to the Mark Thompson show on a Friday.
So this is an exclusive way in which you can learn these things.
You can also go to at Culture Blaster on X, or you can go to the Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page on Facebook. And I usually
you
post
list it there.
I post a list of them alongside an excerpt from your show, which is just my segment.
That's great. I love that. Michael has gone the extra step. You see what your brother Michael does, Albert? That's what you should do. All right.
And by the way, I was joking with her. Amanda Seyfried is wonderful. She does look like a Bratz doll, but she gives an amazing performance in The Testament of Anne Lee.
All right. It's time for you to get to these because I've got to wrap you up in about 90 seconds.
Hey,
so go
fine.
ahead.
Yeah, good luck. Mercy is what we'll kick things off with. And I was kind of excited. A science fiction murder mystery with some over-the-top action in its third act. It's all about a Los Angeles police detective played by Chris Pratt, who is literally on the hot seat when he's accused of killing his wife, played by Annabelle Wallis, who people may know from Peaky Blinders. Anyway, it's the near future when the LAPD has instituted the Mercy court system, wherein the accused is locked into a seat before an AI judge who examines the evidence, takes testimony, and decides the verdict in the span of 90 minutes.
What? Oh, wow.
If found guilty, the defendant is then instantly executed. I am not kidding.
Oh, my God.
At where they sit, because they're in that seat, right? So for this was shot in IMAX in 3D, and I'm thinking,
so it's a courtroom, or what is it?
Well, no, it's like an isolated chamber.
Okay.
Anyway, this was shot in IMAX in 3D, and that's kind of weird because there's a static quality to it. For much of the running time, again, just over 90 minutes, of course, Pratt's character is manacled and sitting in the defendant's chair, looking at a big screen with video evidence and the AI judge, who, by the way, is played by the overqualified but, digitally subdued Rebecca Ferguson, as he tries to argue his case. And despite the use of IMAX 3D footage, we're sitting and looking at Pratt on a screen as he looks at a screen, and the digital clock ticks down from 90 minutes to potential execution.
Oh, that's wild.
Unless his character is
that's
declared
really
innocent.
wild.
So, the ticking clock aspect is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the frenzy that comes about at the end of the movie is too much too late, I think.
Is he represented by like counsel, or
he has to represent himself, and they go to the evidence. It's very cut and dry as far as this.
And it's an AI judge.
Yeah, played by Rebecca Ferguson.
I see.
Listen
she looks
to me.
real.
I don't want to hear you.
Yeah,
I know.
Judge Judy,
the ticking clock aspect is cool. It is.
Okay.
But, so Spielberg's Minority Report, starring Tom Cruise, did this sort of movie crime-solving computer thing much earlier and better. A quick note, we talked about vampires earlier, briefly. Tom Cruise did this sort of... but
Return of the Vampire, whatever that was.
No, he was in Interview with a Vampire, so there's a connection there. But also, Mercy was directed by Russian filmmaker Timur Bekmambetov, whose 2004 vampire movie Night Watch was way more thrilling than this, as was his 2006 sequel Day Watch, and his 2012 horror comedy Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I'm thinking
he's the guy who did that. He did this.
Yeah, Timur should stick with vampires is all I'm saying. Anyway, Mercy's
in theaters. It's an IMAX, filmed in IMAX.
Moving on. H is for Hawk is a very true story, tenderly told, and it deals with a woman who has to cope with her father's passing and does so by deciding to train a goshawk. It's again a true story. It's biographical in some ways, and it's basically about Helen Macdonald, who was a naturalist, and her father was Alistair Macdonald, the British press photographer who worked for years and years and years at the Daily Mirror, and he took some of the most notable photos of the Beatles when they were starting out. So he had a big rep, and he's played by Brendan Gleeson here, and Brendan Gleeson, even in a supporting role like this, is a treat to watch. Mm-hmm. And Helen Macdonald, the daughter, is played by the wonderful actress Claire Foy. You may remember her from The Crown. She played the young Elizabeth in that. And H is for Hawk is a lovely film. That movie, Train Dreams, is not about big explosions and craziness. It's about one man's life. This has the sort of personal, up close, and quite moving look into a woman coping with this situation that doesn't scream blockbuster, but it's just a lovely, lovely film. And again, beautifully acted. It's directed by Philippa Lowthorpe, and she co-wrote the screenplay with Emma Donahue. It's based on the memoir by MacDonald. I highly recommend H is for Hawk, but it's not a big blockbuster.
Right.
You know, sometimes you want to take a little breath and watch something that addresses the human condition, and that's what H is for Hawk does.
Well, it's funny. I was seeing that the producers of this film also produced 12 Years a Slave and Moonlight.
Right, because they work out of the UK, and of course,
I see.
The director of 12 Years a Slave is also from the UK.
I see. Okay,
et cetera.
But it was a best-selling book on which the
maybe they acquire properties and they're very canny about what they do. I want to talk about.
He wants to move on.
I want to talk about something that has a little topical vibe to it and a little political vibe to it, and that plays into the Mark Thompson show in a way. The movie's called Atropia, and it's definitely scattershot when it comes to its comedy aspects, but it is a bold attempt to depict something really odd but really real. And it's a fictional movie, but it's based on some true circumstances. This mix of satire and drama depicts an actual program that the U.S. military ramped up during the early 2000s in remote areas of our country, including the California desert, where this film is set. And it's essentially the military decided they needed a fake country to train troops prior to sending them over to the Middle East. So in the case of this movie, they come up with Atropia. And it's a little fake town, and there's a barracks on the outskirts where these American soldiers are billeted, and they have actors and actual soldiers playing the residents, the Iranians in this case, although they again call the country Atropia, and the insurgents leaders. So Alia Shawkat, who you may remember from Arrested Development, and she's done a lot of work. She's a really wonderful actress. She's absolutely magnetic on screen as Fayrouz, someone of Iranian descent who wants to be an actress, who's constantly sending audition tapes into Hollywood producers and agents. And this is the work she can get, portraying someone living in this Atropian town and dealing with the soldiers coming in. And while she's there, she strikes up a kind of a relationship with the genuine soldier who's back from the Middle East, and he's playing the role of an insurgent known as Abu Dice. And so it's kind of intriguing. They have this little romance going on, and they're trying to portray a real circumstance to prepare these troops who are ready to be going into the theater of war. Let's be straight up about it. But the rest of the cast here, it may be largely unknown, but you do get Callum Turner as Abu Dice. Chloe Sevigny plays Pina, who is one of the people running the program for the government, as is the character of Hayden, played by Tim Heidecker. And and you even get a cameo by Channing Tatum. Everybody's committed to the bit, and it works. And it's not hilariously funny, but I was caught up in it. Written and directed by actress Haley Gates. Atropia is worth a look, particularly because right now we're coping with all this international unrest, which could explode at any moment.
Well, I have to say, it's kind of an intriguing premise. So, yeah, look forward to it.
It's in select theaters. And let's wrap up the new movie segment here by talking about a horror film. And I know you're not a horror guy, and I have to say
but
that...
you horror fans have taken over the world, so it's a little like the comic book,
The comic book movies.
The comic book takes over, all the comic book nerds have taken over the world, all the horror movies have found me.
Anyway, but this is...
Anyway, go ahead, what have you got?
Okay, so based on a video game isn't always a bad thing, right? All too many Resident Evil movies to the contrary. The TV shows The Last of Us, Fallout, and Arcane are wonderful adaptations of video games in longer format, prestige video formed. And then you have the Silent Hill movies, which are inspired by the popular horror-themed game about a New England town called Silent Hill that's kind of a nexus of evil. These movies are pretty wonky affairs. They're kind of notable for their uber creepy visuals and mood, but they're short on coherent story. they do have their fans. I mean, the franchise has this scary nurse creature, the scary nurse with a deformed bandaged face, and this has become a go-to cosplay costume at various Comic-Cons. So Return to Silent Hill is the third of these films, and it's more of the same. Creative creature designs brought to life and amped up by the now, requisite CGI magic, and empty human characters that are kept afloat by thrusting them into decrepit buildings and nightmarish streets amid smoke and ash and gooey, gory splatter as the monsters attack. The actors do what they can, which is not much other than be part of the spectacle. The male lead here is played by Jeremy Irvine. The character's called James. He's an artist who meets a woman named Mary while she's waiting for a bus out of Silent Hill. And when Mary misses her bus, James offers her a ride back to Silent Hill. Bad idea. It appears they move in with one another, but Mary has a secret that dooms their love, I think. It's hard to tell because the scenes jumble together. They go back and forth in time and in and out of these hallucinogenic dreamscapes. Some action takes place at a haunted hospital, signaling that either James or Mary or both of them need medical care. I kind of felt like I needed medical care when it was over. Anyway, I guess it's a good thing that Return to Silent Hill ups the number of scary nurses, because that's apparently an emblem of...
A lot of people liked the video game. One of their favorite video games is Silent Hill. I'm seeing it in the chat. And it appears, somebody's asking, is Pyramid Head in this sequel?
Yes, Pyramid Head. But we don't have to talk about Pyramid Head. I do want to say, you like the video games. Have you ever tried to play a movie? It's a different format. So anyway, I have to point out that Hannah Emily Anderson, the actress who plays Mary, gets plenty for her show reel as she enacts a number of really different personas in a series of wigs, and she goes from wholesome sweetheart to sleazy hottie to twisted goth ghoul, some kind of insect woman. But Irvine is a pretty bland presence as James, even with a bad fake beard. Anderson is fun to watch shapeshift, and there are all the surreal, grotesque things that pop up. Look, Return to Silent Hill is so choppy and uninvolving as a narrative. Yeah, personally speaking, I wouldn't have gone there in the first place, let alone Return. So Return to Silent Hill is in theaters across the country. And that's it in terms of new movies. Buddy.
All right. What else do you have? Anything?
TV? I'll tell you some quick TV notes because Netflix has been hitting it out of the ballpark for me lately. Agatha Christie's 7 Dials is a short but really fun miniseries set in England in 1925, the Roaring '20s, and there's like a party, and at the party, one of the guests ends up dying at some point, and it seems like someone has played a prank on him, but there's actually sinister forces at work. And the weirdest thing is the person who kind of starts uncovering the crime is this heiress named Lady Eileen Brent. They call her Bundle, and she is an absolute delight. She's fun to watch. She's played by Mia McKenna Bruce, the young British actress. Her mom is played by Helena Bonham Carter, who is always terrific. And the superintendent from Scotland Yard that gets involved is played by the great Martin Freeman. So you've got really good actors at the front of this thing, and it's so fun. And it turns out to be something greater than just a simple murder. There's national security issues. There's the impending war with Germany that seems like it's on the horizon. Agatha Christie's 7 Dials, really cool, on Netflix. And one more Netflix treat that I'm just catching up to, and I apologize for being late on this. Death by Lightning is so good. It is a political thriller with tongue-in-cheek. It's an historical drama. It's about the rise of James Garfield, who becomes the president, the 20th president of the States, and Charles Guiteau, the man who assassinated him. And the actors are fantastic. Mike Makowski created this thing. And here's the cast, and they are wonderful. As Garfield, Michael Shannon, who is terrific. As his wife, Crete, Betty Gilpin. As one of his colleagues in the Republican Party, Bradley Whitford. Jeez. As Chester Arthur, who becomes his vice president, Nick Offerman, and as Charles Guiteau in a performance that seems leagues away from his performances in Succession and Ripper Street, Matthew McFadden. It is an absolute treat, and if you're a history buff, and I know you are totally attuned to that kind of thing, I highly recommend.
I'm going to jump in. It's coming. It's on Netflix now.
It's good.
Yes, it is.
I have seen. I've
Kim's
seen this. I watched it, and it's not that long. It's like, what are there, 4 or 5 episodes?
It's
Kim,
not,
how are you?
It's not terribly long, and it's really worth every minute you put into it.
I wondered how historically accurate it is, but I'll tell you what, if it's at all accurate, I sure learned a lot about what happened. And it's amazing because at the end, well, I won't tell you what happens at the end.
If you know anything about history,
that would be kind of bad.
If you know anything about history,
we know he was shot, assassinated.
I just said assassinated. Yeah, Charles.
Yeah,
we know he was assassinated.
Right, I know. But But how often do we think about the story? How often do we talk
This
about
wasn't one of those bang you're dead situations. And one of the interesting things about this that I want to point out is
my recollection is that he was that the one where it's like a rolled up newspaper or something?
Well, I have to say, as rich as the characterization of James Garfield, who seemed very progressive, especially for the time, the portrayal of Guiteau is very tragic. He apparently had obviously mental problems, but he also had frustration and misery at every turn in his life.
Oh, interesting.
And so,
that's what led him to the.
You feel a sense of
understanding, even though it was not.
It's tragic. So, it's the weekend tonight.
So Death by Lightning is what that's called. Go ahead.
Tonight I'm going to be. Oh, why don't you do the recap and then I'll.
Thank you very much.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Very sorry. I'm amped up on Coachella Valley Coffee.
All right. Death by Lightning. You just heard about it. The political thriller, historical drama. James Garfield, the man who assassinated him. It's filled with apparently brilliant acting and also brilliant actors and terrific performances. You will like it. He says, check it out, and so does Kim. Agatha Christie's Seven Dials, short but fun miniseries. It's a period piece, England in 1925. Again, great actors, a lot in the plot, more than just a murder mystery. He says, check that out. Where is Agatha? Is that Netflix?
Netflix. I don't want to gush about Netflix, but they are certainly satisfying
hitting the ball.
Entertainment needs.
Return to Silent Hill, the monsters. Even though you liked maybe. You, the audience, like the video game. He's saying that this one is choppy, it's uninvolving as a movie, you will be disappointed. Atropia, the interesting premise. California desert, military needs a fake country to train their troops. It's in California, as we say, and the actors pretending to be residents of this town. The building relationship between one of those actors and an actual soldier who's training. A lot of very talented performances that really bought into the premise. Michael liked it. He thought it was right. He thought it was good
to an extent. Yeah,
it's not. You say give it a ride. It's not. You're not over the moon for it,
right? And I won't say not terrible. I think it's a little better than that.
Okay. Yeah. H is for a Hawk is Brendan Gleeson, Claire Foy. It is contemplative, as I got from you. It's sort of a. It's the kind of film that, there's not tons of action or stuff going on that rivets you, but you're drawn in as opposed to being riveted in.
Right. It's moving. It's humane. For people who like Train Dreams and the moods that were generated there, this has a little bit of that very up close and personal vibe.
H is for a Hawk. He says, I highly recommend it. Try to see it. You'll be happy you did, and it is in select theaters. Mercy. The premise is you've got 90 minutes, you've been accused, and you're representing yourself in front of an AI judge, and at the end of the 90 minutes, your fate is immediately meted out by execution. It's a bit of
or freedom. One of the other things
or freedom.
They pay me a lot of money for having attitude.
There's the ticking clock, and then there's another thing that shows the percentage of potential guilt. And if it goes below a certain point, you're not going to get killed. So we keep seeing it going.
Is that right? I don't know. It seems kind of like
the idea is much better than the pardon the word execution.
Yeah, it sounds kind of wild.
Seriously, what the?
I might go for it. Anyway, it's in select theaters. Snyders. That is the list. What else did you want to say, Culture Blaster? We're out of time.
Tonight in Tarzana, of all places, down here in Southern California. Two of my favorite L.A. area bands are playing a bill. The place is called the Maui Sugar Mill, and it is a dive bar, and kind of cool. It's in a strip mall in Tarzana, and the bands are The Magnificent, with among the lead singers, the mighty Manfred, DJ, and the music archivist, and my buddy Todd Westover is on drums, and the fantastic Fellinis with Vita and Kenneth. They are kind of a retro 60s, 70s pop, new wavy. It's so much fun. This is going to be a great show tonight at the Maui Sugar Mill.
Wow, listen to you. You're really getting out there. You get out there all the time. Very proud of you. By Friday, I'm pretty much played.
I was going to ask if you and Courtney would join me. It's free entry. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I would like to, but I'm tired. I'm going to see her family tonight. I got to meet her family.
Oh, finally?
Well, I've met them. I meant, you're right. I made it sound like I've never met them. I've met these two before. They're great.
I sense a potential comedy, a film comedy.
Yes. They're really cool, so I hope we have fun.
Anyway,
Michael, you can read him, Michael Snyder, the voice of San Francisco. Albert has it up there, and you can find him at thevoicesf.org, also across social media, because that's where he posts this segment. On X, he's at Culture Blaster.
Indeed.
And then on Facebook, he's at...
it's Michael Snyder's Culture Blast.
Yes, and he comes and goes on a rainbow. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, the great Michael Snyder. I know. It's very exciting to have him here. I'm happy that he stops.
The Mark Thompson Show.
This is Mark Thompson.